nahi surjo nahi jyoti nahi shoshanko sundaro bhashe bhumi ছায়া সম ছবি বিশ্ব চরাচর ও নাহি সূর্য নাহি জ্যোতি নাহি শশাঙ্ক সুন্দর ভাসে ভূমি ছায়া সম ছবি বিশ্ব চরাচর ও নাহি সূর্য পশুকুট মন আকাশে জগত সংসার ভাসে
It must have been extremely hard for him to speak in front of so many people.
Yeah, my heart is pounding just viewing that scene from the sidelines. I don't think there are any words that can describe this moment in history, but a little bit of background will help us understand his sentiments before he came on stage. There were several different delegates who were at the Parliament of World Religions from the East, like the Theosophical Society, Brahmo Samaj and others. And there was one person who didn't belong to any particular sect, that was Swamiji. When all the delegates were on stage and the chairman called them up one after the other, Swamiji was not prepared. He did not have a written down speech and he was taken over by stage fright. And when he was called to the podium, he said, "Can I go next?" And the chairman agreed. And he did that a couple of times, and he finally requested the chairman to send him last. And when he reached the stage, his heart was beating, and he was so nervous. And then he came up, and when Dr. Barrows, he introduced him, he was on the stage. He took his moment, and then he said, "Sisters and brothers of America," those words, everybody stood up and applauded for a long time. Those sentiments that came up before the speech are really something that touched me when I heard it.
Actually, that speech was the first time I ever heard of Swami Vivekananda, because I was always told about his amazing speech at the World of Parliament speech, and that speech is what started my study on Swamiji. That's when I understood him. And I think we should move on with the play, because I want to see more about his life.
Me too, let's do it.
Swami Vivekananda said, "Take up one idea, make that idea your life. Think of it, dream of it, live on that idea. Let the brain, muscles, nerves, every part of your body be full of that idea. And just leave every other idea alone. This is the way to success." This means if you are a student, then your whole life should be focused on education and doing your absolute best. Don't worry about trying to be the best athlete or being the best video game player. All your attention should be on school, since that is your main goal. If you do this, you will succeed.
Swami Vivekananda stayed in the U.S. for 4 years. During this time, he traveled extensively, gave lectures, taught at universities, and founded the first Vedanta Society in New York. He met many well-known people, such as Nikola Tesla, the scientist who designed the modern AC electrical supply system. He also met John D. Rockefeller, who became one of the wealthiest men in the 19th century. Swami Vivekananda encouraged Rockefeller to start donating his wealth to public charities. Also, during this time, he traveled to Europe twice. During his trips, he met Max Muller, the famous philosopher studying India, who later wrote Sri Ramakrishna's first biography for the West. Swami Vivekananda also met Margaret Elizabeth Noble, who who later became Sister Nivedita.
All our struggle is for freedom. We seek neither misery nor happiness, but freedom. Freedom alone.
Master, I feel a deep connection to what you say, and I'm filled with energy to do more with my life. I've always had this burning voice within, but nothing to utter. How often I have sat down to speak and there was no speech.
My child, I foresee a great future for you in India. Let me tell, what was wanted was not a man, but a woman, a real lioness, to work for Indians, women especially.
Master, as surely I am fitted to my world, so surely is my world in need of me, waiting ready. The arrow has found its place in the bow. I would be honored to go with you to India and help you with your work there.
Once we are in India, I will give you the formal brahmacharya ceremony. Your name will become Nivedita, which means dedicated one. I would like you to open a school for poor girls and give them the education to grow into strong, intelligent women.
Master, I will do as you say. I have been waiting for this opportunity my entire life. It will become my life's work.
Swamiji was in US for about 4 years, and during these 4 years he became very popular. He almost had a fan club, a huge following around the country.
How interesting. Did these fans ask him any questions?
Oh, lots of them, always very curious, as we were saying about Swamiji. And on that note, I do remember a specific incident that happened when Swamiji was out somewhere on the beach and, as always, flocked by his fans. And one of these gentlemen was curious about Sri Krishna, as Swamiji used Sri Krishna as an example and in his stories, in his lectures several times. So this gentleman got up and asked Swamiji, what is so great about Sri Krishna? After all, he was just a shepherd boy as you describe him to us.
Oh my gosh. What did Swamiji say?
Well, so it was a tough question, right?
Did Swamiji get mad?
Not really, but he didn't say anything. He just got up, turned around and started walking away from the crowd. And as you say, the crowd must have felt like he's mad. Was this an appropriate question to be asked of a Hindu monk? But Swamiji just kept walking. And so did everybody who was around there. They kept following him. So he kept walking for about a mile without saying a thing, and people just kept following him. Finally, he stopped and turned around. And guess what?
What did he say?
Well, he said, I could not find a better way to answer this question about Sri Krishna. So I thought I should do a little demonstration here. I am just a small devotee of Lord Krishna, and you fine people have been following me for a mile to just hear a few words about Lord Krishna. So just imagine the infinite charm of the God himself who has charmed people beyond imagination for ages.
Wow, what a witty way to handle the situation.
All right, let's see what's happening next in our story.
Swami Vivekananda said, do not be in a hurry. Do not go out to imitate anybody else. Have faith in yourself. Be proud of your ancestors instead of being ashamed of them. And do not imitate. Do not imitate. This means that all of us should remember that even if we look different from everybody else in our class, school, and neighborhood, we should stand up tall and be proud of our heritage. We should be proud to be different, with a different name, different language, different skin color. We do not need to be ashamed of ourselves, nor do we need to change ourselves to be more like others.
Although Swamism and Sri Ramakrishna's ideals to the West. Now he felt a burning desire to go back to India. He realized that his true purpose was to teach his fellow Indians to be strong and proud of their culture. He wanted to help India realize its greatness and teach it to stand on its own, independently of Great Britain. By helping India gain independence, Swami Vivekananda felt that the poor would have a better chance of improving their situation, and thereby slowly becoming closer to God. He went back to India, taking with him only a few close Americans and Europeans, such as Sister Nivedita. On January 15, 1897, when Swami Vivekananda reached Colombo, Sri Lanka, which was still part of India, he was welcomed with a huge celebration.
Thank you for such a warm welcome. The spirituality of the Hindus is revealed by the princely reception which you have given to a beggar sannyasin. I am not a military general, not a prince, nor even a wealthy man. Yet I have been given such rich tributes. This shows the highest expression of spirituality and greatness of India.
Swami Vivekananda continued to deliver many speeches and gave many discourses throughout India. He founded the first Ramakrishna month in 1897 in Chennai. He was treated as a spiritual leader and inspired many people. He brought modern Hinduism to not only the West, but revitalized it within India. He helped formulate the nationalistic ideal for Indians in British-ruled India. He felt that reducing poverty in India was a requirement for India to succeed. Although Swami Vivekananda passed away through Madhshabhami in July 4th, 1902, his spirit is so strong that it still inspires all of us today.